O mar não separa as nações, o mar une as nações.
Brazil is a country of continental dimensions, with 7,400 kilometers of coastline and 5.7 million square kilometers of maritime jurisdiction known as the Blue Amazon. Within less than 200 kilometers of its coastline are concentrated about 78% of its revenues, 93% of its industries, 80% of its population, and its main cities using 85% of its electrical resources.
O Brasil tem vocação marítima e depende do mar para crescer. Desde 1967, nós viemos participando dessa organização. A defesa dos nossos interesses na IMO está vinculada à capacidade do nosso país sobreviver.
Over 95% of Brazil's trade is transported by sea, accounting for more than $400 billion a year. Its territorial sea and exclusive economic zone prospect and produce yearly over 950 million barrels of oil and 40 billion cubic meters of natural gas. In its sedimentary basins, where the pre-salt oil reservoirs are located, volumes are estimated to reach over 80 billion barrels.
O comércio marítimo brasileiro, ele responde mais ou menos por 95% de todas as trocas comerciais. Tudo passou no porão de navio mercante, né?
There are 191 private and 37 public seaports, with 136 port terminals moving over 1 billion tons of freight every year, 78% of which is foreign trade.
Todos os portos públicos já estão usando o porto sem papel.
O transporte marítimo é um dos modais que sem ele a agropecuária não sobrevive. Nós precisamos tanto levar os nossos produtos, como também nós buscamos os insumos para o desenvolvimento da agropecuária moderna do Brasil. Com melhor navegação, você passa a ter competitividade e entrega de produtos de boa qualidade.
Currently boasting the largest shipbuilding industry in the Southern Hemisphere, with around 40 shipyards and the world's fifth largest order portfolio, Brazil occupies the fourth place in the shipping industry's international ranking. The fishing industry in Brazilian waters is highly relevant and continues to grow significantly, involving a community of over 1 million fishermen and a fleet of 122,000 fishing vessels operating at sea and interior waters and generating approximately 1.6 million tons of fish every year. Maritime security within the Brazilian jurisdictional waters and ports is also a national priority. With no record of piracy, fighting over illicits is conducted routinely by competent agencies with the support of Brazilian Navy's operational assets. Strictly observed by Brazilian authorities is the compliance with the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code.
A Marinha tem uma capilaridade muito grande no território nacional. Nesse momento agora, nós temos quase 5.000 homens trabalhando em segurança marítima.
Brazil is responsible for over 15 million square kilometers, an area almost as big as the South American continent. Some of the most important maritime communication lines of the hemisphere, as well as 3,000 ships a day, cross this area. Since January 2009, Brazil has been operating the Long-Range Identification and Tracking System. Prevention of marine pollution and reduction of greenhouse gas emissions are focus areas of the Brazilian government. Its participation in IMO's Global Ballast Water Management Program makes Brazil one of the 12 lead partnering countries selected by the organization. The measures implemented with such programs have resulted in greater control over Brazilian jurisdictional waters.
No Brasil, o que existe já é uma legislação em vigor desde 2005.
Brazil actively participated in the Globallist by disseminating information and advising its state administration on ballast water management procedures. And in the Glofouling project, Brazil presents relevant R&D works led by the Brazilian Institute of Marine Studies, which aims to develop and disseminate know-how on the control of invasive species by biofouling, avoiding marine contamination of the country's ecosystem.
O IAPM ele vem trabalhando com bioincrustação há mais de 30 anos.
Essa placa ela não foi pintada e foi colocada no mar depois de um ano, então a gente vê que ela fica bem incrustada. O navio vai ter um gasto muito maior, né, de combustível.
The worldwide recognized excellence of Brazil's maritime training is under the responsibility of the Brazilian Navy as the National Maritime Authority.
Eu quero alcançar comandante e estudar tudo relacionado à marinha mercante e relacionado à minha carreira.
With 2 higher education training centers and training organizations located at over 70 different sites around Brazil, Brazil provides basic and refresher training observing IMO's maritime seafarers qualification requirements, as well as training courses for the different harbor workers. With a significant technical cooperation program, the Merchant Navy Officers Training Centers welcomed hundreds of students from various Latin American and African countries, with scholarships and assistance granted by the Brazilian government. Brazil has ratified IMO's most relevant instruments, and through an efficient inspection system, meticulously follows up on the status of its ships and foreign vessels calling at its harbors.
A gente tem um nível de certificação bastante elevado por causa da segurança dos nossos portos. O que a gente quer é manter o nosso porto seguro.
The participation of sea-based economics will grow exponentially in this century. For its unique geopolitical position, Brazil has an enormous potential to contribute to such circumstances, as it already does. Accounting for almost 10% of the world's maritime commerce, Brazil acknowledges the importance of IMO as the international organization responsible for maritime safety and security, as well as prevention of marine pollution, thus sharing and advocating its ideals. As a long-standing member of its council, Brazil actively participates in all works carried out by the organization, contributing with the international efforts towards regulating shipping with a view to a cleaner, safer, and ever more secure oceans.